Hi there, it's Jessica at Create Kids Couture, and today I'm going to show you how to attach the skirt to the bodice of a dress. But this technique also works if you're attaching a gathered skirt to a waistband or a ruffle to a connector. Anytime you're attaching something that's gathered to another piece of fabric. So today I'm using the Hattie's dress by CKC to demonstrate how you do this technique. You'll see I have my bodice already assembled. Here's my elastic casing installed. So I'm done assembling the bodice according to the Hattie's pattern directions. And also I've already assembled my skirt. And I have gathered my skirt using my favorite technique, which is the clear elastic method which I showed you in the previous video. You can use any technique that's your favorite for gathering. So now I'm at the point where I need to attach the skirt to the bodice. And here's what I'm going to do. I need to mark off the side seams of my skirt. So that's easy because you just look for those side seams. And then I need to mark the front and the back center of the skirt. And I just fold it in half, matching up the side seams so that I can get the center front and the center back. Okay, so now I've got those points marked off. Now I want to do the same thing on the bodice. And you'll notice on most CKC patterns on the bodice, the side seams of the bodice kind of wrap around about an inch or so to the back. And I still use that as my side seam. I don't use the true side seam usually, because I prefer for the side seams of the skirt to wrap around to the back and be hidden a little bit, like in pictures and things. So there's my side seams. And then I'm just going to match up my straps or my side seams there to find the center of the back bodice. And you don't have to really measure this with a ruler unless you really want to get technical with it. I just kind of match up with my fingers, just folding it, find the center front of the bodice. Okay, so now I've got the same points marked off on the bodice. And here's what we're going to do now is we're going to flip the skirt over so that it's right sides together with the right sides of the bodice. And I'm just going to start matching up those points. So I've got the center front of my bodice and the center front of my skirt, and I'm going to match those up there. And the side seams, again, we're making them right sides to right sides match up. So side seams here, matching those and pinning in place. Or I love to use the Clover Wonder Clips. You probably noticed that in all of my videos. I cannot sing the praises of them enough. They're amazing. One of the best notions you could ever invest in. Okay, so side seam there, matched, and the center back bodice with the center back of the skirt, pinning that in place. Okay, then I just need to go along and pin or clip so that all the excess in between is matching up. And since I use the clear elastic method for gathering, all of this matches up beautifully. But if you have hand gathered by pulling the threads, then you may find that you need to adjust your gathers a little bit so that everything matches up perfectly. And one last section to go. Again, just pinning all the excess in between where my side seams and my front and center back were. Okay, give it a little shake here, straighten things out. So now you'll see I have my bodice is here, tucked inside of the skirt, and the raw edges are all lined up. And so I would take this to my machine now and just line up my presser foot and sew my 3/8 inch seam allowance all the way around. And then once that's done and it's attached, when I flip this right side out, the bodice and the skirt are going to be attached. And then at that point, I would do the final step, which is to top stitch along the bodice. And that's it. It's pretty easy. And again, this works for every single Create Kids Couture dress or skirt when you're at the point where you're attaching the gathered portion of the fabric to the bodice or the waistband. So hope that helps you.